Hello everyone. Excuse the soothing sound of the noise machine. This is a video. I'm going to share a few just a quick video on parenting according to like our ego versus the soul of our children. And I'm going to give you a few examples that have come up in one-on-one client sessions. And I'm going to give you a personal example of how I've had to surrender to this by connecting to the soul of my child. So sometimes the things that we want as parents or we want to do as parents is actually not supportive for the souls of our child or what they desire. And sometimes we have to either find a balance or a medium between this, or we have to surrender our own ego, our own control, and really tend to the needs of how the souls of our children and what they want and what's best for them. And parenting according to each individual child rather than seeing every child as a whole. We're not in this top-down parenting anymore. And we as parents, we are the ones that are the change makers and following the new paradigm of parenting, because the old system has to crumble. Where, sometimes we have pressures around society or what our family wants for us as parents, and we are kind of following those needs instead of looking to the soul of our child and parenting according to what they need and what's intuitive for you, what your intuitive parenting, just looking at the camera, your intuitive approach to parenting. And this is how we change the system, is by we follow our own intuition, we connect to the soul of our children, and we parent according to that essence. And so I'll give you an example. I've had several clients, a few clients, one-on-one sessions that the souls of their children typically always come through. Typically a lot of children will come through, and it's very clear that they're in a school system that their parents' egos want. So it's like, this has happened a few times where there's either the parents want to send, and the family wants the kids to go to like a private school, like a prestigious private school. However, it's not supportive of that child. That child's not doing well in that environment and needs a different school system, private school system. A lot of them are very outdated depending on the one, but anyways, I'm going to do a whole other topic on like starseed children, new earth children, and the school system in another topic. But the environment is what the parents want, the parents' egos wanted. However, the soul of their child, it wasn't supportive. The children weren't doing well in that environment and would benefit from a more alternative or smaller environment, or just different approach to education altogether. And it just depends on the person that I was channeling for. But I wanted to share that perspective of like, sometimes we have this idea of sending our kids to this, like the best private school or this and that, and it's actually not good for that child. And I'm going to share an example of how this has come up for me. So my own ego, we recently started Nova with childcare. She's 19 months old, and we just very recently started because we were ready. She was ready. She was ready to be somewhere else. And so, I'm still breastfeeding. So we're still doing that. I have no plans on, my child is still, that's really nourishing for her. So we have no plans on ending that anytime soon. Again, I'm going off my child's needs, but that is not about this. But anyways, we recently started with childcare. And so originally, my ideal situation was to have, what my ego wanted was to have someone in her home. I wanted her close to home. I wanted to have control, obviously, because I have to work through a little bit of control when I send her to where she's going. But the soul of my child's a double Leo. She loves being around people. She loves social environments, loves parties. And she would, like, even during the day, like if we're at home, she walks to the door to put on her shoes and wants to go out and see people. So that's the soul of my child. She thrives in an environment where there's other people. Okay, So therefore a one-on-one nanny situation at this point wouldn't be beneficial to the soul of my child. However, my ego wanted that, okay? So I had to surrender my own ego's desires, my own control, and adapt to what she needed. So we found this happy medium between, I didn't want a big box daycare. That's just not what I wanted for her. It's just not in alignment for me. And so there's a happy medium, right? I wanted something, if we were going to do a daycare, I wanted something very small, close to home. And so we found this beautiful, like, earth angel of a woman, and the environment is beautiful, and it's, you know, there's only like 3-4 kids, including Nova. It's an at-home daycare, and it ended up being, it's only been a few weeks, but it ended up being so amazing, and Nova loves it there. And it, you know, for example, like, I'm the only one that can put Nova to bed, and sometimes my husband can, but typically it's only me that can put her down for naps and sleeping, and it's always kind of been that way. And within like 4 days, because we would pick her up for nap time, and one day we went to go pick her up and they're like, oh, she's asleep, and she fell asleep right away. And so this is unheard of, that someone other than me is able to put her to sleep. So I just want to give an example of how sometimes we as parents, our egos want something, however the soul of our children wants something else, and how can we find the balance between that, and really looking to the soul in front of them and seeing what they need, how they would benefit, and what environments would they benefit from. So I hope this helps. I have so much I want to share about this topic. I plan on doing like a longer video or something on the New Earth children and the Starseed children. And yeah, so I hope that helps.